Today I'm grateful. My friend Sully, Dan Sullivan, is offered to model for our time together. So Sully has been a very dedicated yogi, and he has been doing a pranayama practice every day since January 5th without missing a day. And that's really what it takes. It's the consistency. That's the first step. So you come down into the posture of life here. And it's good to have something behind your spine. So Sully's working with a bolster here. Some of you might use a rolled up sticky mat or a rolled up towel or blanket. And the first step is just to stop. Stop all doing. Let the shoulders fall back. Release your jaw. Release your throat. Relax your throat. Let gravity take over. And sit back very deeply inside. See if you can watch the impermanent sensations of pressure and temperature and tingling come and go. You watch the thoughts, impermanent as they are, pass across the screen of your mind. Today I'll read the story of Narada and Sanatkumara in the Chandogya Upanishad. Chapter 7. Narada approached the sage Sanatkumara and said, "Please teach me, Venerable One." "Tell me what you know," said the sage. "Then I can teach you the next step." Narada spoke, I know the four Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva, and all the epics. I've studied grammar, rituals, mathematics, astronomy, logic, economics, physics, psychology, and the fine arts. I have a PhD and many certifications and degrees from many universities. But I have not realized the indivisible and eternal self, the source of all knowledge. I've heard from spiritual teachers that one who realizes the self goes beyond all sorrow. I am anxious and lost in sorrow. Teach me how to go beyond. Your studies and degrees are impressive, Narada, and I commend you for them. But so far, whatever you know is just words, said the Venerable One, Sanatkumara. All these things are just ideas and finite things, phenomena of the senses. Experiential knowledge is your next step. To experience the infinite that is not subject to change and impermanence is what you are looking for. Yes, teacher, please teach me, said Narada. You must experience yoga, the indivisible unity of all things, not through words or intellect. Experiential knowledge, where you see only oneness, where you hear only oneness. When one sees separateness and thinks separateness, this is the finite and relative world. It is time for you to go beyond and come into the source of abiding joy. The infinite is above and below, before and behind, to the right and the left. I am all of this. One who meditates upon the self and realizes the self sees the self everywhere and rejoices in the self. Such a one lives in freedom and is at home wherever he goes. The self is one, though it appears to be many. Draw the senses inward and purify the mind. pure mind, there is constant awareness of the self. Thus, the sage Sanatkumara taught Narada how to purify and go beyond the darkness to the light of the self. And one more reading today from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra number 69. Meditate on the self as being vast as the sky, a body of energy, extending in all directions, above, below, all around. You are this. Thou art that. In the embrace of infinite space, awaken to your true form. The divine creative energy revealing herself as you. And now, slowly bring your knees together. And you might like to rock your knees, readjusting the sacrum and your pelvis and the low spine. Roll to one side, and you might just pause there for a moment. And now come into a suitable seated meditation posture for your body. We like to sit with a symmetrical position rather than a cross-legged position. Most of the cross-legged positions are not symmetrical. You can sit in a chair as well. We're going to be here doing some breathing practices for maybe 15 minutes or so. Take a moment just to drop down and go way down into the earth. The moment comes when you'll feel anchored and grounded. Here's the practice of active inhale and active exhale. So through your nostrils, sip in a little bit of breath, take in a little bit more, and then a little bit more, widening the ribs, opening the lungs in 3 dimensions. And blow it away 5, 6 times. Use the support of your hands, pull in your belly and round your spine. And you pause a moment. You come up whenever it's appropriate for you. Eyes closed, with your senses turned inward. And again, active inhale, active exhale. A little bit. Inhale some more. Inhale some more. Widen the rib cage in every direction. Roll the ribs around, the shoulders around, and then blow it away. Clear the breath, and you go into an empty place. You rise up whenever it's time for you. A third one, sipping a little breath through the nose, taking a little more, fill up even more, and you might squirm around and get it into the back ribs and under the shoulder blades. Pause a moment at the top and blow it away. Clear the breath, clear the past. Come up slowly. And it's time for you. Pay particular attention right now as the body is shifting and rebalancing inside. Become interested in the prana body, these energetic tinglings of impermanence everywhere. This is the practice of clear your mind. Alternate nostril Kapalabhati. And so it's just exhaling here. You exhale through one nostril, exhale through the other, and continue on. Short, sharp exhales. And I'm assuming that you know this practice. And now here's an inhale and an inhale. Inhale. And blow it away. So you clear and empty the breath. And then when it's your moment, you come up. This is a path of curiosity. You become curious about how is the heart? How are the lungs? How's my spine? What's the feeling tone of my energetic body? And another round. Alternate nostril Kapalabhati, clearing your mind. And off you go. Short, sharp exhales. See if you can get the pumping action of the belly to flush the breath out, momentarily increasing the pressure behind the sinuses. It's a physical clearing, but it's also an emotional and mental and energetic clearing, breaking the chain of causation of thoughts. Inhale, inhale, and inhale. And blow it away. Clear it all out of your body. In your time, you come up. Our senses are turned outward. We're always looking out of our eyes and listening outside of our bodies. And the yogis said that we're dragged around by these senses, seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. Our attention is always outwardly focused. And the key here is to turn your attention inward. Here's the practice of slow energy breath, slow Bhastrika. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down fists and lift the heart. And inhale, reach up. Spread the fingers. Exhale, pull and rise up. And off you go. Find a pace that suits you. Not too fast, not too slow. Both energizing and with feeling, with presence. Couple more. Good, and now this time, inhale and bring your hands up overhead, interlace the fingers, send the index fingers to the ceiling, wiggle up out of the waist, straighten out your arms if you can, let the breath go. Take in a wee breath, a little half breath, and then just pause here for a moment, bring the chin down and squeeze the arms towards the ears and rock it up through the heavy atmosphere into the lighter air. You decide when to let the fingers go. Let them go earlier than you think you need. And then you settle back down into this clear meditative space. What's so nice about this sequence is that it's so reliable. Mechanically, we come to the threshold of meditation. And a few moments of Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breath. So thumb and fourth finger, thumb and fifth finger. There's many different mudras that we use in this system. You can put fingers on your forehead like Dan has, or other mudras that you might know about. And you alternate, not the nostrils, you're alternating sinuses. It's not about the nose, it's about the sinus cavities. Our precious sinus cavities, the front line of our defense against viruses and bacteria. You want to clean and clear your filters to the external world. Every day, maintain the health and the well-being of your whole body by cleaning your air filters, the mucosal tissues of the sinuses, keeping them clear and free is the first step of breath practice. Inhaling on one side, changing sides, exhaling on the other. Inhaling on the same side. Use very light, delicate touch. Tips of the fingers. You feel the cool breath tickling the passageways. And then warmer breath when it goes back out. And so as the breath goes through the sinus cavities, there's something called the Venturi effect, where the velocity of the air increases, the pressure, static pressure increases. And this stimulates the nerve endings that run from the sinuses through the roof of the sinuses into the olfactory bulb and the forebrain. So we lightly stimulate one hemisphere of the brain, and then we lightly stimulate the other hemisphere of the brain. This alternation from one side to the other is the most important technique the yogis ever discovered. No question about it. You start breathing this way long enough, and your blood becomes very clean. Slow, continuous release of nitric oxide starts being released from the sinuses. This clean blood goes up to your brain, to your organs, your heart, your liver, your kidneys. And now just another moment here. And when you're ready, release the technique. And with your eyes closed, pause and survey the feeling tone inside. And long exhales are quite magical. They increase the vagal tone, the all-important vagus nerve. If you like, bring your hands together in prayer position. And this is 4 long ohms here. So you inhale a little, you inhale a little, and extend it now with the sound om. Again, slowly inhale a little, inhale a little, inhale a little more, maybe wiggle around. Inhale, inhale, and inhale. And now one more. Turn your senses inward. Here's a transition now. We're going to come up to standing. Open your eyes and move all of your stuff to either side. And then come on up to the middle of the mat. Take a moment in the mountain and just find your feet again. Go down through the contours of the feet, the edges of the feet go down, and you lift up and rise through the bottom of the heart, and you smile inwardly. This is some of the dumping breaths, the swinging arms here. So you inhale and you swing the arms up, and you bend your knees, and you exhale with a inhale, swing up. And off you go. And find a rhythm that suits you. 4 or 5 more. Let your arms be relaxed, your shoulders relaxed. It's helpful to make sound with this. Let it go. Whatever anxiety or stresses you've been carrying, you can let them go now. And then one more. And then let it go and hang here. So you might widen your feet a little bit if you like. Turn the toes in, the heels out. And have your hands wherever it is appropriate for your body. So it could be on your knees, on your shins, on the floor, on a block. And think of this as one of your most important daily postures, to release over and let the spine hang and let the shoulders hang, let the neck go. And this is always about the breath. It's not about the pose. What is universal is the breath. The postures keep changing. And so we observe everything from the viewpoint of the lungs and the heart in the center of the chest. Feel how the breath opens in this shape. And smile into your whole body. Good, and then press into your feet and slide your hands up to your knees with straight arms, knees bent. And here's cat and cow. Exhale, round your spine, and inhale. Lift the chin up and arch the spine. And now back and forth. And follow your breath. So the breath guides you. Joining breath and movement. This is called gear number 1. When you exhale, you go into flexion, you round the spine. When you inhale, you go into extension, you arch the spine. And now back and forth, gear number 1. So we're going to do the 4 gears today. And this is the way most yoga is led most of the time. Joining breath and movement. Back and forth. Few more. The natural tidal movement of body and breath. And now come into the middle place, and we're going to do gear number 2, where we reverse the breath. And what you'll notice is you'll experiencing your body and mind differently. So for this one, you inhale into the cat and you exhale into the cow and you arch the spine. Inhale into the cat and exhale, reversing the breath pattern. And you'll experience the spine and the pelvis and the shoulders from a new vantage point. This is very helpful for increasing lung volume slowly over time. Good. And on the next one, roll all the way up to standing. Pause a moment. The sacred pause here. And now, alternate nostril breath, simple practice. So you choose a hand. Get the rhythm of the breath flowing, left and right, smoothly. And now, we're going to be doing alternate nostril breathing with gear number 1, joining movement and breath. Now, when you do a twist, gear number 1 is you exhale into the twist right, inhale to center. And then exhale to the left, inhale to center. Alternating the nostrils, keep going with gear number 1 here. Exhale into the spiral, inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to center. Good. Now bring both hands up into temple position in the center. So you're using your thumbs to do alternate nostril breathing. And then lower your right hand and let the left hand take over. Thumb and fourth finger, thumb and pinky finger. Alternate sinus cavities. And now, gear number 2, you inhale into the twist and you exhale forward. And you inhale into the twist on the other side. And you exhale forward. And on you go. Gear number 2, inhaling into a twist. Exhale forward. Find a rhythm that's suitable. Changing the nostrils. And now bring both hands back into temple pose. Find simple practice with temple pose. And now gear number 3 is internal kumbhak and a movement. So we'll just stay in temple pose here. So you inhale and you hold both thumbs under the nostrils, pressing into the feet, and then you spiral to the right, holding the breath, and then you exhale through one nostril without lowering the heart. And stay here. Maintaining the fullness of the position as the breath changes, as the nostrils change. And now do an inhale, pause the breath, flow with the breath, and return back to center. Find the simple practice. And now gear number 3, internal kumbhak. So you inhale without moving, put both thumbs under the nostrils, spiral left. Keep pausing the breath, full of breath here. Then you exhale through one nostril without lowering the rib cage. Keep the heart lifted. And what you'll find is that you see newness in the prana body, in the inner world inside. Now to exit, take in a breath, pause the breath, both thumbs under the nose, come back into center. Established in simple practice. And now gear number 4, external kumbhak. So you exhale the breath, pause the breath out, close both nostrils, spiral right, and now inhale into this shape through one nostril. Change nostrils, hold the spiral. And notice how this twist is different. Spiraling to the right, exhale the breath, close both nostrils, come back to center, inhale through one nostril. Find simple practice here in the middle. Gear number 4 again. So you do an exhale, external kumbhak, pause the breath out, spiral left, keep pausing the breath out, and now inhale into this shape. Find balanced breath, spiraling to the left here. This is the journey inward. Turning your awareness to the inner body. And now to exhale, you do an exhale the breath, pause the breath, turn back to center, and then inhale through one nostril. And now just one last moment. Fly your temple around. Lift your elbows up and sway and swirl and roll the elbows and the shoulders. And like you're flying a hang glider through clear blue sky, up and down. And now fly back to the center and lower your hands. Now your shoulders might have gotten a little more of a workout there than you're used to. So let's do a little bit with the shoulders here. Inhale, lift your shoulders up to your ears and squeeze your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And then with a sigh, let them drop. Inhale, lift the shoulders up towards the ears and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And then exhale, let them drop. Roll just the right shoulder forward and up and back and down and forward and up and back and down and around. Isolating your attention in the right shoulder, moving the scapula and the clavicle, your collarbone. Circle the other way, just the right shoulder. What you'll find is that the shoulder gets juicy, the blood flow increases. And then let the right shoulder relax for a moment and come into a still place and compare right shoulder to left shoulder to right shoulder. And now take your left shoulder around and around in a rolling motion. It's so critical that we maintain the mobility of our scapulae. Our shoulder blades tend to develop adhesions and stickiness. Circle the other way if you haven't already. And then let the shoulders drop for a moment. And now protraction and retraction. So protraction, bring your shoulders as far forward as you can. Bring your femur heads as far forward as you can. And then exhale, bring your shoulders back and squeeze behind your body. And inhale, bring them forward. And then exhale, bring them back. Inhale, bring them forward. This is gear number 1. Exhale, bring them back. Inhale, bring them forward. Exhale, bring them back. Good, and then just pause for a moment. Once again, tune into the feeling tone of your body. We're going to do the same protraction, retraction with gear number 2. So for this one, you do the opposite. And you'll find that a few minutes of these easy kinds of practices will be very helpful if you're a pranayama yogi. You do a lot of breathing practices. And then let your shoulders come and just hang out for a moment. Bring both hands, your fingertips to your shoulders, bending at the elbows. And now let's whirl the elbows around in a rotational motion, real slow, and explore the edges of your range of motion without anxiety. Right? You might have all kinds of little pops and crinkles, and you just smile into them, like you're rowing a boat here. Rowing the boat of your soul across the ocean of phenomena. And row your boat backwards. Swirl it around. And then let the arms go now and pause a moment. Walk the feet all the way together. This is the half moon pose we're setting up for. Some of you might want a wider stance, and you're always welcome to put your back against the wall. We do that frequently. Today we're just going to do freestanding. And with your next inhale, sweep your right hand up towards the sky, press down through your right foot. Wait for a moment and feel the opposition of forces. The foot pressing down and all 5 fingers, like on strings, pulling up, pulling up. And now take in a breath with a long, lengthened right side. Move the hips out over the right heel and arc to the left. Draw in your belly. Your eyes can be open or they can be closed. If you like the eyes open, have them just half opened and soft and steady, gazing at a drishti, a gazing point. Now you can play around inside the half moon, sometimes still, sometimes moving. Those little tiny adjustments can be so engrossing and delicious. Come into a breath-centric viewpoint. So you start at the heart and you open into the lungs, and you feel how the right lobes of the lungs expand under the rib cage and the left lobes are compressed. Let's do 5 pulses here. Pulse lower and pulse and pulse and pulse. Pulse to your lowest point, and now squeeze and contract every muscle in your body. And then inhale, you come on up and you lower your right hand. Take a moment of pause and introspection. Here's the left hand. Press into the left foot, sweep your left hand up. And before you go anywhere, clear the lines, the nadis, the meridians on the left side body, pressing down on the foot as you pull up through all 5 fingers. And now arc. You don't always have to go 100% right away. Maybe you just go 50%. Find the breath there. And then let the posture progress and develop breath by breath. Smooth and a balanced breath. Smiling into your heart. Let your heart be bright in all these postures. This is the way you come to experientially connect with the inner body. This body of flowers. This body of innate but hidden wisdom. A smooth breath. Here's 5 little pulses. So you pulse and you pulse and you pulse and you pulse to your lowest point. Squeeze, contract, and hold. And now inhale, come on up and you lower the arm, and there's always a sense of relief. You come back to being. Here's a spinal extension. So step the feet a little wider, turn the toes out, and bring your hands to your belt line behind you. And for each person, this is an exploration. So wade into the heels, engage your calves, your hips, your thighs, squeeze your inner thighs, move the sacrum forward, move the spine forward. See what it's like to lift the chin up Stretch your throat here. Now your hands can be on your hips, or if you like interlacing them, you can. Move the spine forward, move the sacrum forward, move the pelvis forward towards the toes. And the first thing most people do is they lose breathing through the nose. Make sure you're inhaling and exhaling through the nose, and go as far into this. I'm going to lead this for about 5 more breaths. Pressing into the feet, lifting up the heart. Spine forwards, ribs back, squeeze under the smile of the buttocks. Stretch the chin up, open the throat. And now bend your knees and slide your hands down your legs. Turn your toes inward and return back to the hang, Uttanasana here. So you might like to have your hands on a block, or go very slow here when you come back. Bring the heels out and the toes in will help spin the femur heads, your upper thigh bones, into internal spiral. You let the neck go, you let the shoulders go. We're going to be walking to down facing dog here for those who would like down dog. You walk the hands forward and you walk the feet back, and you determine how far you want to be here. Right? So you can have your hands and feet close together, and that will take the loading off the upper body. Fan out the fingers, press into the pads of the fingers, pull the upper thigh bones back. I'm going to lead this for about 5 breaths. Press into the earth. See if you can lengthen the spine here. Some of you might prefer this with the knees down. Everything we offer here is just a suggestion. And now when you're ready, put your knees down and come onto your belly. Come all the way down onto the belly. And we're setting up for the cobra pose here. So press your hands down and reach out through the toes. You get to decide how wide the legs are depending on your sacrum. Press the toes down, press the pubic bone down, and now inhale. Bring the chin up, bring the heart forward. Bring the shoulders back, pull through the inner elbows, strong. And you get to determine your height. We're all adults here, so you decide what feels right given your unique spine. Smooth breath in, 3 or 4 more. Play around in the pose before you slowly start to release and let go. We're coming back to the child pose now. So you press into your hands, you lift up your hips, and you wiggle back to your knees. You might like support in the child with a blanket or a block under your forehead, or you can put a fist under your forehead if your spine is on the tighter side. And now a second cobra. Slither forward onto your belly. Point your toes and come into your ready position for Bhujangasana. And now, in your time, follow the breath forward and up, rolling the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears. And now you might even like to play with the breath here. On the inhale, lift the chin up. On the exhale, just the head and chin dipping forward. And inhale, lift the chin up. Exhale, head bowing forward. One more. And now come down. And we're heading back just to the floor here. So a belly down rest. Turn your head to one side. And now the blood moves into your sacrum and your lumbar spine. We're going to do one more back strengthening here. Bring your arms out into a T. Bring your chin onto the floor. This is Purna Shalabhasana. If you have more space than what Dan has, you can bring your arms forward if you like the long lever. For most people, though, out to the side is a better position. Start with your pubic bone, pressing the pubic bone down. Get that grounding there first. Energize through the arms and the legs, and then inhale, rise on up, bring the hands up, bring the toes up, bring the nose up. We're going into Kapalabhati here, short exhales through the nostrils. The Kapalabhati will give you the strength and the power to fly easily through the air here. Keep your nose up off the ground. And your smile curling upwards for 3 and 2. And now right at the end, fly all the way up, woo, and then come down and rest. Turn your head the other way. Bring the hands alongside. If you like, big toes touching, heels wide. Some people do a little rock of the hips here, just to get that final release. And now we're going to flip over. So flip over onto your back and bend both knees and put your hands on your kneecaps and pick your feet up off the floor. And with the knees together, a little pelvic clock, a little rock. And let this feel extra delightful. And now just for a moment, with your hands on your kneecaps, guide your knees wide out to the side. And with the hands gently weighting the knees down, try the littlest of rocks, left and right. So this is the frog on its back. We could have done frog facing the floor, but this is the kinder frog. And now here is happy-go-lucky baby. Bring your knees up towards your armpits, and you can have your hands wherever it proportionally and physically works for you. So for Dan, he's a foot person. Other people, the shins, or still others, just grasping behind or under the knees, drawing the knees wide and bringing them down alongside. And now we're heading to either legs in the air or legs on the wall. So you get to choose. If you'd like to use legs in the air, get a block or a pillow or a blanket. Bring it under the fleshy part of the buttocks, close to the tailbone, and then bring the legs up. And you want to let this be an effortless position. So you're not really struggling. The knees can be bent if you like, or the legs can be straight. If you find legs in the air effortful, try legs on the wall. So you're just not asking so much from the hamstrings. And this is a key posture for happiness and well-being. Such a simple pose, and yet profound in its effects. This pose is known as Viparita Karani, a long E at the end, Karani, Viparita Karani. And it has a distinguishing characteristic in the pranayama world. Your breath will go to its slowest rate in this pose. Slowing down the breath. Is the doorway from asana to postures to pranayama, the breath practices to samadhi. Equanimous mind. An equanimous mind rests in the present moment. It's neither for nor against. All reactivity has come to an end. There's just clear seeing. Thank you, Srini, for such beautiful, beautiful vibrations here. It's time to bend the knees and slide the legs down the wall or roll to either side. And then come and take a seated posture. Choose the posture that makes you as happy as can be. And then come and sit in the core of the heart. Come to the source here. Shining light, burning brightly from within. And may all of our thoughts and words and actions be guided by this source. Rub your hands together and turn your palms up and like you're holding a big basket, elbows up, like a big basket in front of you, your palms radiating towards your heart. And here is an Om, holding yourself with great understanding. Inhale, inhale, and inhale. And now turn your palms out, like you're got a big radar dish. There you go. And you're going to send the external world a big loving Om here. Inhale, inhale, and inhale. And turn your palms up like a big funnel. Let all these blessings and wisdom and knowledge flow down into you from the past, right here in the present moment. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And then bring it all back to the heart here. Sitting ever more deeply, right here at the fountain. Here's an Om. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Om, Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, peace. Namaste. Thank you, one and all, and thank you, Sully, for jumping in here today. He jumped in at the last moment, and I'm so glad you showed up. Sully has been a real solid pranayama guy since January 5th, every day. Thank you, Srini, for jumping on board here. Hi, brother. Hi, brother. Are you in California now?
Huh?
Are you in California?
Yeah, it's 7:15.
Wow. So it's the middle of the day for you then.
Right, and you're the only people that are awake to that I can hang out with. So
Oh, Srini, what a delight.
Love you
Unexpected.
guys.